بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. We are continuing inshallah with the essentials of Islam, some of the very important lessons that one needs to know to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his worship to be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have done the salat and we have done the Salatul Jamia, Friday prayer. And today, inshallah, we'll be concentrating on fasting. It's one of the most important things. It's the third pillar of Islam, Shahadatu la ilaha illallah, wa anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, wa iqami salat, wa ita'i zakat, wa sawmi Ramadan. And fasting the month of Ramadan is one of the pillars of Islam, the fourth pillar. And then the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever fasts one single day for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for seeking the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will keep him so far away from the hellfire, almost 70,000 years away from the hellfire. And also the Prophet ﷺ, he used to be regularly fasting, and it is good for health. He used to fast on Thursdays and on Mondays. When he was asked on why he was fasting on Thursday, he said it's the day that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him the message, and it's the day that he was born also. And when he was asked why does he fast on Thursdays, he said is when the a'mal, the deeds, are revealed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, taken to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala every Thursday, once a week, all taken to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by the angels. He said, when my a'mal or when my deeds are taken to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to see me in an act of worship, and fasting is one of the beloved worship to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So inshallah on the lecture today, fasting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it was ummah that who were before, they were also ordered to fast. It was not only the ummah of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So fasting, he said, وَأَمَّا الصَّوْمُ وَهُوَ الثَّالِثُ مِنْ أَرْكَانِ الْإِسْلَامِ. According to the Imam Shafi'i, it is the third pillar, or it is one of the pillars of Islam. What does it mean? If you are Muslim and you have reached age of puberty and you are well, and if you don't fast, you have left one of the most important pillars of Islam. He says, فَهُوَ إِمْسَاكٌ مَعْرُوفٌ عَلَى وَجْهٍ مَخْصُوصٍ. It is well-known abstinence, but with certain special characteristics. What does it mean? إِمْسَاكٌ مَعْرُوفٌ. Abstaining from certain things, عَلَى وَجْهٍ مَخْصُوصٍ, with certain characteristics. Amongst these characteristics, minhu an-niyya, is the intention. Intention لكل يوم وتبييتها من الليل. To make an intention, and to make an intention in the madhab of Imam Shafi'i, you must make an intention at night. At night before you sleep, you make an intention that I am fasting tomorrow. Otherwise, your fasting will not be accepted. And also, but that is the fard sawm. The obligatory sawm, you have to make an intention at night. But if it is a sunnah, fasting a sunnah, like Monday, Thursday, or other days, the 6 days after Ramadan, the Shawwal, you can make an intention even in the morning. Once the Prophet ﷺ, he came to his house and he was looking for food, and he was told there was nothing. He said, I made an intention that I'm fasting then. Even during the day, if you've not eaten or anything, you could just make an intention that you're continuing to fast. And it is very important, especially during the winter days when the days are shorter, to make the most of them to fast, because you'll be building your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, strengthening it and bringing yourself closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and also keeping yourself away from the hellfire. And also it says, وَالْإِمْسَاكُ عَنِ الْمُفْطِرَاتِ, to keep away from things that will break fast. It means food or drinks من الطعام, from food, والشراب, and drinks, والجماع, and sexual intercourse with your wife. Abstaining or keeping away from anything that will break the fast. It means food, any kind of food eating, small or large amount, intentionally. If, for example, you've woken up during Ramadan with an intention that you're fasting in the morning, and you forgot and you had your breakfast, then you continue your fasting, and your fasting is valid because the intention is there. You've never intended to eat. As soon as you remember, you will just stop where you are, take the food out of your mouth, and clean yourself and continue with the fasting, and you do not have to pay back. But if it's done intentionally, then you have to pay back, and there is a way, inshallah, that we'll explain later. And it includes, it says, abstaining or stopping yourself from anything that will break your fast. An example of that, it includes food, any kind of food, large amount or small, والشراب, any kind of drinks, large or small, والجماع, sexual intercourse, sleeping with your wife. It is not allowed. It breaks your fast, and there's a big fine to do that. If you've performed sexual intercourse during Ramadan, there is a fine that inshallah, which we'll explain. والاستمناء بمباشرة, and also masturbation or masturbating also, it breaks your fast. والاستيقاءة بالاختيار, and also self-induced vomiting, to make yourself vomit. If you vomited by accident, or if it's a woman that was fasting and she's pregnant and she was to vomit, or suddenly you've just vomited, it doesn't matter, it doesn't break your fast. But if you forced yourself to vomit, or you've caused vomiting, then you have to pay back that particular day, and your fasting has broken. So we said that we have to abstain from certain things and make sure that we intend at night. Every night we make an intention, or in other opinions of the scholars, you can make an intention during the beginning of the month and say, Ya Allah, make an intention to fast the whole month of Ramadan. In case if you've forgotten every night, that intention should cover you. But make an intention every single night and follow it with an action of fasting. And then abstain from food, abstain from drinks, abstain from intercourse, sexual intercourse, masturbation, and forcing yourself to vomit. Those are kind of things that will break your fast. And also, amongst the things that makes your fasting beautiful and perfect, includes refraining of the limbs from things which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't like. وَمِن تَمَامِ الصَّوْمِ, and for the psalm to be complete and perfect, كَفُّ الْجَوَارِحِ عَمَّا يَكْرَهُهُ اللَّهُ, to refrain and stop certain parts of the body with things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't like. مِنَ الْأَعْضَاءِ السَّبْعَةِ, and from the 7 limbs, al-ati, which will be talked about inshallah in the future lectures. ذكرها ففي الحديث, and it was also saying that in a hadith it was mentioned that خمس يفطرن الصائمة. There are 5 things also which in a way that will break your fast, nullifies your fast. It is not fasting is not only your stomach, my brothers. Inshallah we'll talk about it. The eyes have to fast, the ears have to fast, the hands have to fast, the legs have to fast, the whole body has to fast, to an extent that it is said that you have broken your fast if you've used your tongue wrongly. It doesn't mean that your fasting doesn't exist for that particular day or you have to pay it back, but the rewards for that fasting, you've destroyed it if you've used your tongue wrongly. It means the tongue has broken its fast. If you've used the eyes wrongly, it means the eyes have broken their fast, because they have to fast also. What most people tend to do is fast with the stomach only, and the tongue is saying whatever it wants, lying and all other things, and the ears are listening to whatever it wants, the hands are touching whatever is haram. It means if the hands touch what is haram, the hands itself has broken its fast. But the most important thing that will break the fast is food or drink or sexual intercourse, or we said masturbation, or throwing up, forcing yourself to throw up, vomiting. But these things will reduce the rewards of fasting. He says, خَمْسٌ يُفْطِرْنَ الصَّائِمَ. 5 things also nullify or breaks the act of the fasting person. The person who's fasting will get less of rewards. He says one of them is lies, al-kadhibu. The second one is wal-ghibatu, backbiting. To backbite, you've used your tongue wrongly, or al-kadhibu, you have lied wrongly. Therefore, your tongue has broken fast. Wan-namimatu, slander, taking words from one person to the other with an intention that they fight. The only intention is that fight, those two Muslim brothers or those two people are fighting. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, لا يدخل الجنة نمام. A person who takes word from one person to the other person with an intention those people fight, he shall not enter Jannah. وَالْيَمِينُ الْكَاذِبَةِ. And also an oath, false oath, to say wallahi this, that, the other, and you are lying, and that thing that you're swearing, it is full of lies. وَالنَّظْرُ بِشَهْوَةٍ. And also looking with desire, to look into a woman, or a woman looking to a man with desires. You know, like you are looking at the private body parts, or you're looking at them like that with desires. Then the eyes also, the rewards of the eyes being refraining themselves from doing certain things, you get the less reward. وَمِن تَمَامِ الصَّوْمِ. And also وَمِن تَمَامِ الصَّوْمِ تَحَرِّ الْإِفْتَارِ عَلَى حَلَالٍ وَعَدَمِ الْإِسْتِكْثَارِ مِنَ الْأَكْلِ. And among the things that perfect and increase the rewards of fasting, it includes eating what is halal. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't like people eating haram. It is an example. If you have a bucket of water and it's full of water and you want to perform your wudu, if you know inside that bucket somebody few minutes ago has put drips of urine in there, would you be able to use that water to perform wudu? No, you will not be able to do that. It is the same thing when you are fasting the whole day and then to go and eat food that is haram. Therefore, you will not be rewarded. It is exactly the same. You cannot use water that is full of urine to perform your wudu, and also you cannot use food that is haram to break your fast. وَعَدَمُ الْإِسْتِكْثَارِ مِنَ الْأَكْلِ. And also stopping and not eating a great deal, eating large amount of food. Even the Prophet ﷺ said, نَحْنُ قَوْمٌ لَا نَأْكُلُ حَتَّى نَجُوعُ وَإِذَا أَكَلْنَا لَا نَشْبَعُ. It is said the Prophet ﷺ, he would never eat until he's hungry, and when he eats he will never overeat. So it is very important that when we eat, we just eat enough during the Ramadan. وَيَنْبَغِي الْإِسْتِكْثَارُ مِنَ الصَّوْمِ. It is also good to fast very often. لَا سِيَّمَا الْأَيَّامِ الْفَاضِلَةِ فِي الشَّرْعِ. Especially the days that Islam has considered special. Certain days in Islam are considered special. Amongst those days which are special in Islam, the 10th of Muharram, and also 6th days of Shawwal, the 9th of Dhul Hijjah, the 9 days during the month of Hajj, and Monday, fasting Monday and Friday is important, and 3 middle days of the lunar month, 13, 14 and 15 of every month in Islamic calendar month. You will get rewarded abundantly by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It says, Wallahu a'lamu wa billahi tawfiq. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best, and success is from Him. So inshallah, my brothers, regarding fasting that we've covered a little bit regarding fasting. Inshallah, in the future books, we will explain a little bit more what things are allowed during fasting, what is not allowed, an injection, for example, if you have blood test and other things, inshallah, we'll be explaining in great details, inshallah. So we've covered fasting. It is very important that we do our amals with knowledge. You will be rewarded. Any deeds that are performed without knowledge, it is not rewarded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So inshallah, it is very important that when we're fasting, to refrain from what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordered us to refrain from. And also one of the most important things to refrain from is lies, backbiting, and also slander, making sure that you don't take words from here and there, and also swearing lyingly. You are swearing, you're saying wallahi this, wallahi that, while you're still lying, and also making sure that your eyes doesn't look into what is haram, and also make sure that you do not use food that is haram to do your iftar, and also not overeating. And inshallah, we make sure that our life being very short, inshallah, we make the most of any opportunity that the Prophet ﷺ used to fast, the sunnahs. We make sure that we fast those, because on the day of judgment, if our fard or obligatory fasting is same as salat, if there's a shortage, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will use the sunnahs to cover the shortage, so that you can be rewarded abundantly. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammadin wa ala alihi.